Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eyed Girl 69. Again, I had to pause to go do something real quick, and when I came back, I didn't see the pause button there anymore, and I hit the wrong button, so it ended the video. So, I was done with that story anyway, that I was sharing, so now I can make this video and, tell y'all a new story. Let me see. What kind of story can I tell? I can tell y'all about some of the experiences I had when I was homeless. I could tell you about all sorts of things. Well, let's see. I talked about the out-of-body experience. Let's see. I don't know. That's another thing is I do want to connect with you folks. So I'd be kind of interested in hearing what y'all'd like to hear about me or my life, or if any of that appeals to you, or if you like the story aspect. I would just have to, really stop and concentrate on a specific subject, storyline, that I'm going to tell. But here, let me just give y'all a rundown. May of 2013 is when Daryl and I went homeless. We were in Denver, Colorado. We started out there. And then we proceeded to go up to Boulder, Colorado. We left Boulder, we went to Vegas. Then we left Vegas, went to Tucson. Then we left Tucson and came back to Oklahoma for Christmas of 2013. January 2014, my cousin and I had been staying with her since the new year. Daryl and I had stayed with my cousin since the new year, that year. So 2014, we were in this small town in Oklahoma, not too far from where I'm at now. And we stayed with her, I think it was like 2.5 weeks, something like that. And we was able to get some things going. And she drove us down to Dallas where we caught a bus. And then we went to San Antonio, Texas, to where a friend of ours let us stay with him for a little bit. But it turns out that he was kind of flaky, and we ended up leaving that situation basically by our own choice. Not because they asked us to leave or anything. It's because we chose to leave there ourselves. We'd rather have been homeless, which we ended up being, on the streets of San Antonio than to stay with this kook that, brought us down there. And we stayed in San Antonio for 8 months. And then we left San Antonio. And then we basically went to Austin. Then we went to Taos. Then we went back down to Albuquerque. And then we hitchhiked. And kind of got a detour along our hitchhiking route. Because we were just going to head west straight out to San Diego. But we detoured down to Phoenix, and we thought, well, heck, man, we've made it this far. How hard will it be to get a ride out of Phoenix, to get us on the road to San Diego? Well, it was very difficult. Like, impossible. So the guy that helped us get there, he helped us get to San Diego. Then we went to San Diego. We was in San Diego for a break. Then we went, we was in San Diego, for about 4.5 months, maybe 5. And we decided we wanted to head north. So we headed north and we went we were trying to follow our noses, and we wound up at Venice Beach, LA, Hollywood area, and realized very quickly that we should not have left where we had come from. So we basically turned around and went back down to where we had been in San Diego after a week of being up in the LA, Venice Beach area. And then we stayed in Ocean Beach until May of 2015. And then in May of 2015, so by this point, it'd basically been 2 years that we did city streets. Then we left there and got a ride share and went to Mount Shasta and basically hung out there for 3-4 weeks. Camped out. We were like 11, 12 miles outside of town. No vehicle. So we basically had to stock up on supplies when we first rolled into town. And then during the time frame that we were there, we did see other people that did have vehicles. So we were able to catch a ride occasionally into town to restock up on water and stuff like that when we needed to. And then we kept heading further north after we left Mount Shasta. We hitchhiked. We were hitchhiking basically at this point. And we got picked up just right outside of Wairika and dropped off in Ashland, Oregon. And this was actually Memorial Day weekend when this happened. And we arrived in Ashland on May 31st. So Memorial Day weekend might have been the weekend before. I can't remember, but it was then in May when we arrived in Ashland of 2015. And basically we woke up on June 1st in Ashland, Oregon, underneath the bridge. We'd already put our tent up and everything. But, of course, we had to take it down. It was just like a temporary thing, you know, for us to crash for the night and have protection around us. And basically, from that point in Ashland, Oregon, we were there from June of 2015 until January 2018. So we were there about 2.5 years. Now, in that 2.5 year period of time, I left a total of 2 times, and Daryl left a total of 1 time. I left in December of 2015 and came back to Oklahoma to see my daughter, and then turned around, and I think it was like 3 weeks later or something like that, like around the beginning of January, mid part of January, I got a bus back to Oregon to be with Daryl. And we were there from January 2016 together until basically the end of March of 2017. And Kelsey was graduating in May of 2017. And so we wanted to get back to Oklahoma by the time she graduated high school. Or to see her graduate high school. So we had a friend help us out and get us a room and everything for a few days in the next town over where we were staying. And then we was able to catch a ride share from another traveling kid. Had a van, had a dog. This dog was pretty cool though. Not too much of an issue. And everywhere, he picked us up in Medford, Oregon, and drove us all the way to Durango, Colorado. That was our destination. Because we'd had friends that we met in San Diego that had been to Durango, and when we was leaving San Diego, we actually tried to get a ride to Durango, but it just didn't work out the way it was meant to, because it wasn't supposed to. And they wound up leaving Durango and coming up to Oregon and staying up there in Oregon with us for like, I don't know, 3-4 months, something like that. So when they heard that we were coming back to Oklahoma, they were like, well, why don't you just come through and see us in Durango? So that's what we decided to do. Might as well go and check this place out. So we got dropped off in Durango, and we got there like the beginning of April of 2017. And I didn't think it was going to be that difficult to try to get a ride out of there, but it was very difficult. Not like we were trying to hitchhike out of there. We were definitely just trying to get a ride set up to get out of there, you know. Even if it was to a major interstate where we could hitchhike if that's what it came down to. But, my daughter wound up driving all the way from Oklahoma up to Durham to pick us up and turn around and drive back all in a 24-hour period. And Daryl and I did help in the driving as well. More me than Daryl. It was between me, Kelsey, and her boyfriend, and Daryl. There was 4 of us. And I think Tyler might have drove a little bit too. But, and then we came back to Oklahoma. Watched her graduate. Stayed here in town for like, oh shoot, when did we arrive back here? I think we arrived back here on the 14th of May is what it was. And we stayed here till the 26th. So we were here for like 12 days. And then Daryl had a friend in Tulsa that he'd grown up with in Chicago. And his friend was living in Tulsa and had been living in Tulsa for many years. And so we went up there to stay with him for a little while. So I think we stayed the summer of 2017 with him, basically. And I tried to even get a job. Daryl tried to get a job. We were trying to, you know, get on our feet and see if there was any opportunities presented to us. Because with staying with Mark, we weren't having to pay him anything, and he told us not to worry about it. And he would be more than happy to let us stay there if we both got jobs, or even if I got a job, and let us save up money to get us our own place, you know what I mean? But nothing was coming to fruition, you know? So we left there. We went back to Oregon. And we arrived back in Oregon, I believe it was on Labor Day weekend, or right before Labor Day weekend. And that was the year that big eclipse and all that took place here in Oregon. We were trying to get back here before that craziness, but we were trying to get back there before all that craziness, but it didn't happen. So I'm sort of kind of glad that we didn't get stuck in that mess. And then we were back there, and in January 2018, when he died on January 9th, that was when our homelessness ended. Anyway, just a little bit of a background about me and a little bit of the places we went, etc., etc. If y'all have any questions about what it was like for me when I was homeless, hey, I'd be more than happy to try to answer those questions, whatever it may be, you know, whether the questions are, how often did we take a shower, where did we do our laundry, where did we take a shower, how did we make our money, etc., etc. So if any of y'all are interested in any of those things, let me know. And I'd be more than happy to answer those questions. All you gotta do is leave a comment down below, and once I see your comment, I'll give it a thumbs up, and I'll probably reply back to you. And then I'll try to make a video response to your question for me as soon as I get an opportunity to do so. I currently work Friday through Monday. Usually at work between the hours of 12 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. So on those days it's very difficult, but like tonight I'm making these videos before I go to bed. And Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays I'm off work, and those are the days that I'm usually home unless I'm out running around paying bills, going over to see my daughter and grandkids, or doing shopping or whatever I need to do, errands. So that's usually the days that I'd be more than likely able to make a video answering anybody's questions. Because like I said, I really do want to interact with people, and I want to get to know people, and I want people to get to know me, because isn't that what YouTube is about? People getting to know other people. Or at least that is the way it is in my mind, you know? You basically gravitate to certain people based off your interests, you know? And my interests are storytelling. My interests are smoking weed. And my interests are peace, love, and happiness. You know, to me, it's all about balance. And basically dropping all labels and just being who you really are. And, you know, being a person that's honest and has integrity. To me, integrity is somebody who is the same person as they are behind closed doors. So for me, that would be what I present to you here is how I am in person, how I speak, how I act, behave, my facial reactions, all that. It's not played. That's who I really am. I share my heart, you know. I'm not one of these fake people out there on booby tooby streets that are just following people around because it's cool to do so. I'm not one of these types of people that's just going to jump on a bandwagon just because everybody else is. And I'm one of these types of people that what you see is what you get, basically. You know, with me. I have no other reason to not be who I hate to say. I have no reason to try to run game on somebody. I have no reason to try to control anybody else's life. I have no reason to try to bring fame and fortune to myself through this avenue called YouTube. That's not what it's all about for me. Even though there are people out there that basically started their YouTube channel with nothing in their pocket, and now they're basically living their fantasy life just because of YouTube. But that's because they're the ones that had to put the hard work and effort into turning it into what they've turned their channel into. Me, I don't want that kind of popularity. I just want to be a basic channel. Yeah, I think it'd be cool to have a few more, you know, subscribers and people interacting with me and commenting on my stuff and etc. But maybe that's not where it's supposed to be either, you know. I don't know. I just feel like if I had more support, maybe that would get me a little bit more motivated to change things in my life. If I had more people trying to bust down my door, so to speak. But every avenue of social media that I go on, I'm not really heard or listened to. My Facebook, crickets. 338 friends. That's it. Nobody checks on me, nobody. And there's just a handful, maybe 2 handfuls of people at the most that might comment occasionally or like or thumbs up my posts that I make over there. I used to be over there all the time because I have a lot of photo albums over there, different subject matters, you know. I guess I always want to try to educate people in different subject matters, you know. And those subject matters are A to Z, you know. From the wild to the mild to a little funny, a little out there that really makes you stop and think, you know. I got a lot of, you know, albums from when me and Daryl were homeless, in all these different cities and things of that nature, you know. So I do have it documented. But like I said, nobody's interested in learning about me, you know. Nobody's interested in trying to get to really know me and develop a relationship with me, to develop a bond with me. And I am the type of person that will put out the energy to have that type of relationship with somebody. And when I say relationship with somebody, I'm not necessarily speaking about like a partner type relationship. I'm talking about, yeah, I guess I am looking for somebody that could be my other half. Um, but I'm also talking about friendships as well. I'm the type of person that would rather have just two, three, 4, 5 good friends that I know I can count on than I would rather have 3, 4, 500 friends that don't give a crap. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that all my YouTube or all Facebook friends are crap or don't care about me. Because some have actually gone out of their way for me. When I was traveling, when I was homeless with Daryl, I had some of my friends that actually helped me and Daryl out and sent us money on occasion. Or if we really needed it for a specific purpose. And then some of these friends out, I've actually met a couple of them in person. As I was traveling, from October of 2020 to February of 2021. And see, I got stories about that too. That was after Daryl died. I was, I guess it was 2.5 years, almost going on 3 years since he passed away, that I traveled. And I traveled with him, and did the things that me and him had talked about doing. We didn't have a specific plan as far as what cities we was going to go to, but we knew we wanted to go to the East Coast and at least put our feet in the Atlantic Ocean. So I did make it a point to get on Facebook and contact as many Facebook friends as I could. Let them know, hey, this is where I'm going to be. This is how I'm going. If you're interested and you want to meet me, I'm more than happy to come to your city, town, and meet you. If that's for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or even to stay with you, or I'll even stay at a local motel. It don't matter. Or sleep in my van in your yard or driveway. I gave people options, basically. But I did get to meet a few of my friends, and I did get to stay in a few of my friends' homes. And then there were times when I was like staying in a hotel, and then I would just meet up with friends for like dinner or whatever. So I got all sorts of stories. But I guess till the next time, and until people reach out in the comments and say, hey, won't you tell us about this? Or hey, tell us about that. I'll try to think of some stories to tell y'all that y'all be interested in. If you are interested in homeless stories, hey, great. Or any of my traveling stories, just let me know if that interests you. Or any of the other subject matters I threw out there as well. Till next time, YouTube. Peace, love, hugs, nugs. Smoke it if you got it. That's basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish this up, and then more than likely I'm going to be hitting the sack before long because, well, I got to be at work tomorrow from noon until 8 p.m. So, and let's see. I don't even know what time it is. Check my little clock over here. It's 12:20. So, yeah, I need to be in bed by 1 o'clock. So, that'll give me time to upload my vids and do some last minute things before I shut out the lights and call it a night. So until the next time, this is Candy, aka Brown Eyed Girl 69, signing off. Hasta la vista, baby.